Welcome back to Hadley Unwritten. My name is Hadley. So today we are going to be reading You've Reached Down, and we're going to see if this book can make me cry, because I've heard that this is like one of the saddest books you could ever read. So I have high hopes that it's going to make me cry. And I also am in the mood to read a book that's going to make me cry. I think the last book that made me cry was probably The Crooked Kingdom. That was sad. But I didn't it wasn't like full on, like rip your heart out sobbing kind of cry, So I really hope that we get that with this book. And yeah, I'm super excited for this. I have super high hopes and it's going to be good. So yeah, let's get into this. I'm a little bit scared to read this, not gonna lie. But the edges are sprayed pink and it looks so pretty. This is chapter 1 and I'm already sad. It already hurts. Does anybody else use their books for receipts as a bookmark? Because that's what I'm using. Okay, so You've Reached Down. It's just like, it seems like a general sadness throughout the whole thing, and I'm not feeling sad, I feel like when I read sad books, I have to like be able to relate it to something in my life, to like feel sad, but I'm not feeling that with You've Reached Down because I don't have a boyfriend. But it's like, I like Oliver, he seems nice, and I like Julie's friends. I don't know if I like Julie. I like Micah, I wish we could see more of her. And I'm not loving it right now. I'm kind of bored. But I'm halfway through, and it's just a short book, so maybe it'll get better. I bet I'll cry at the end, though. So it's not like, I don't feel anything reading it right now. It's like I don't relate to it at all. Goodness, Oliver. Poor kid. Oh. Because like he's talking, right, about wanting to be remembered and stuff, which it's always sad when book characters do that, because it's like they already have their memory written in the book. Like, they won't be forgotten because their fictional characters are written down in the book. And especially with this, because Julie is a writer and she's writing about them, so really he's never going to be forgotten, and he left something behind. But he's sad because he feels like he didn't leave something behind, like he didn't leave a mark on the world, which is it always like really punches hard when you read things like that. For me especially, it's like, yeah. Also, I'm like 50% through, like a little bit more. I read this much and I have this much to read. 173, chapter 11. Okay, so here's my problem so far. It's like, it's a good book. Like, I get why people cry reading this. I get why people like it. I'm underlining things. It has good writing. I'm just like, don't hate me for this. I hate Sam and Julie. I don't feel like I don't connect with them. I feel like they're kind of irritating and I just don't like them. But I do like all the background characters so far. And I have like 100 pages left, so that's where we're at. We are so close to finishing. Let's do this. I think one of my main problems with this book and not liking it is that I don't appreciate the fact that, like, he's dead, but she doesn't want to let him go. It's like he's not giving her, it's like she's not giving him a chance to rest and watch over her, But then that might just be a different perspective from me being Christian. And then I don't know what this author believes in or what these characters believe in, but like, to me, it's just like, should let the dead rest, once they're gone, and watching over you. It's always a nice thought to think that, and I think that that's what Julie has trouble thinking with, is that he would be at peace if she let him go. I don't know. I think that's why I don't like it anyways, is that he's not at peace, she's not letting him go, and it's just bugging me. Okay, but what's crazy is I actually predicted Oliver and Jay from like the first time that Jay wore like a blue polo shirt with spiky black hair, and then the first time they interacted, I was like, yes, those two. See, it's like what Micah said. Like, she goes, this isn't good for you, and I don't know if it's good for him either. It's like, she is keeping him from being at rest, you know? And I mean, I've never, like, thank you, Jesus, but I've never lost anybody in my life like that. But I don't know, I feel like it would hurt more to stay connected with them than to just let them go. So, I don't know. I don't know, basically. I don't know. Okay, that was actually sad. Gosh, okay. Oh, where's my highlighter? Ah, that was a good line. Okay, that was sad. Okay. First of all, I'm babysitting right now, and I just need to say this because it was like the most terrifying thing that's ever happened in my life. Before I could put one of the kids to bed, all the books on the top of their bookshelf just fell off, and I was like terrified because A, I almost got killed by a bunch of children's books, and B, like this 3-year-old, I was like terrified she was gonna start screaming and wake the other one up. But anyways, sorry, I just had to say that because I was like coming down from like an adrenaline rush. Anyways, but yeah, I'm babysitting right now. That's why I'm in a different location. But I've had to be very strategic about where I place my camera so that there are no children's photos in the background. But let's discuss this delightful book. So I didn't cry. And I feel like for a book that is marketed to be like the saddest book ever, it's supposed to be so sad. On the back, it literally says, I knew full well that I was signing up for a tragic love story, and that's exactly what I got. So now I'm here to warn you, this book will absolutely make you cry. Make sure you've got a box of tissues handy, and I mean a full box. And that's a quote from NPR. Had a box of tissues handy? I didn't use one. I don't know, I just don't think I was able to connect with it. For books to make me cry, I have to be able to like connect to the characters. And I also think that having Sam dead from the start wasn't gonna make me cry, because from the start you learn he's dead, and so in my brain it went, okay, this kid is dead, don't get connected to him because you're just gonna be sad. So I don't know, I couldn't connect to Sam. It didn't make me cry. Julie Clark, I like that she's a writer. I can relate to that a lot. Honestly, I liked the background characters more than the main characters. I really loved Micah and Yuki, and Jay and Oliver. I called it. The second Jay waltzed in there with his spiky hair and his blue polo shirt, and she was like, Jay has always had good style. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then Oliver showed up, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe them. And they started joking together, and I was like, okay, definitely them. So totally called that. Anyways, I'm so proud of that because none of my guesses in books are right. So I'm like, let's friggin' go. I actually got it right this time. Obviously, it's a very sad book. Somebody dies right from the start. But I think because he died right from the start, I wasn't able to, have that build up where I got connected to him as a character, as an alive character that I could care for. I couldn't connect to him as a character to love because he was already dead, if that makes sense, like when you start off a book with a character and, well, they're alive, which is how most books start, but you start off a book with a character, right, and they're alive, and it's like, you fall in love with them pretty easily, right, because, like, they're alive, you love them, they have these traits or whatever that you like, and you identify with, and but then when they die, because they were alive the whole time, you're gutted because you actually, you love that character. But with Sam, I feel like there was a mental block in my brain where I couldn't connect with him because he was already dead, if that makes sense. I loved the cover on this book. I thought that was so ingenious, especially after reading it, because you can see that, her side is alive. Obviously, that makes sense. He's dead. But her side is alive. The cherry blossoms make so much more sense. And if you notice, he's reaching into her world, but she isn't in his world. Like, you see his forehead there, and then his hand, and it's more he's in her world than she's in his, which I thought was very interesting and makes more sense now that I've finished reading it. But I also didn't like how she was unable to let him go. And I mean, it was partly him too, right? Because he loved her and stuff like that. But it was also weird, like, it didn't sit well with me because for me it was like, if somebody I loved died, I don't think I'd want to be reconnected to them. And I don't know if that makes me like heartless or whatever, but I wouldn't want to go through that again. I wouldn't want to go through the pain of losing them twice. If I got to speak to them again, I'm sure I'd be so grateful. A bit like Micah, you know? If I got to speak to them again just to say goodbye, you know, that would be great. But to hold on to them, I feel, is just a certain kind of cruelness to that person, you know? Not letting them go is like, it's not letting them be at rest. And that doesn't sit right with me. Because once you die, I think it's best to let you be. And I don't know, that's why it bugs me about, like, you know, it makes me kind of feel ill to, like, think about people, like, exploring the Titanic, because, like, thousands of people died there, and you just go and you explore, and you're like, oh my gosh, all these artifacts, and it's so cool, don't get me wrong, but it's also, like, this is a graveyard, you know? This is a ship of ghosts, and they deserve to be at peace, right? And I think that's what bugged me about Sam, was that she couldn't let him go. And I think that's why I didn't like her, was she couldn't let him go. And she wasn't letting him be at peace. And it was in part him too, because he didn't want to let her go, which is very sweet. But it's also like, you know that you're going to be in a better place. Especially for me, as a Christian, I know that when I die, I'm going to be in a better place. And I know that regardless of, if I want to say goodbye to somebody, if I was dead, if I wanted to say goodbye to somebody, it would be too happy. Heaven is a place of joy. And if I were dead, being in heaven, there would be no part of me in heaven that wanted to return to earth. Because I would be with my Father and Creator, God. I would be with other relatives of family. And I'd also get to watch over the remainder of my family. You know, it's not, I feel like as a Christian, it's not a sad thing, death. And maybe that's my problem with this book. But I didn't love it. I had high hopes for this book, so I'm actually really sad about that. But yeah, but it was a good book. I read it pretty fast. It was nice to read, like, such a cute little just 300-page book, because I just finished, like, 2 fantasy books, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and then I also have so many fantasy books on my TBR, so this was just a nice little in-between break. Yeah, I don't know, I just didn't like it, and I'm really sad about that, because I had such high hopes. I don't think I'm a romance reader. I didn't love Better Than Movies, and I didn't love You've Reached Down, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, yeah, so I think I'd give this probably a 3 stars, 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars seems right. I'll give it 3.5 stars. And I think for age rating, I'd probably say 13 plus. It's not that bad. I mean, there's a talk of death and stuff, but yeah, maybe 12. I don't know. I'm not good at age rating. It's just a guesstimate. It's what I feel in my heart. That's all for today. That's this book. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this more than I enjoyed reading it. Please don't take my opinion offensively. It's just an opinion. Just because it's not yours doesn't mean it's wrong. And just because I don't agree with your opinion doesn't mean that it's wrong. So let's take a chill pill before we go and make negative comments. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Farewell!